Is live, hitting the
We're live
hitting
to
the
the
intro
world.
here. Here we go.
Welcome to Earl and the Idiot, the show that gives you the answers you need to take your business to the next level. With Earl Flormata, one of Vancouver's most sought-after business and marketing consultants, author of Business Engine Optimization, consultant to over 60 successful businesses, an all-around evil marketing genius with a combined total of more than $70 million worth of sales to his credit. And some idiot. Okay, here we go.
This guy,
Here we go.
just some idiot.
I'm never gonna get tired of "Here we go." I don't know why. I just really like that.
It's great, isn't it? Here we go. Did I steal that one? Was that on Carl Bryan's podcast?
Oh, absolutely,
Or-
it was on Carl Bryan's podcast. But you ever
Okay.
listen to the different Star Treks and the different captains with their thing, like when Picard
Yeah.
was and you know,
Picard says make it so.
make it so was one, but engage was when you
Oh yeah,
fired up, right? Engage.
engage is good. I like that one.
So Engage was always the classy. We just finished watching Discovery, and hers was Let's Fly, which I thought was pretty cool as well. So that's
All right.
fun.
A little less direct, a little more charming.
Yeah, but here we go.
I always preferred Captain Picard's captaining style. It's very classy. You know, like it was leadership. It wasn't what's the word I'm looking for? You know, like Kirk was always fist fighting with aliens.
Well, yeah, but
you know what I mean?
classic move with the double-handed club thing, which actually doesn't work in life. Right.
I think Riker's was always this one, which is the British SAS maneuver.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyway, not to get off on a tangent right off the bat. How you doing, Earl?
Pretty good. I don't know. I guess I'm pretty good as far as I can be with considering the situation. I don't know if you know what's going on with my eyeball, but like one of them goes out of focus and back and forth, and then I get crazy headaches. But
is this the one that had a fly in it?
Yeah, apparently it might be more than the fly situation. So yeah, the bug got me in the eye, and then I was wearing an eye patch, which was slightly too late for our episode, which was sad. And then I was off the eye patch by the time it rolled around again. So
did we got the eye patch in the podcast, didn't we? Didn't we have it last week?
I can't remember now. But we didn't do a podcast last week because we were on the boat and we forgot to reschedule.
Right.
So it's just,
so 2 weeks ago we had your eye on the podcast. I think. I remember talking about it. Maybe it was just in private. Anyway, okay, but then what happened?
No, I've just been back and forth to the doctor trying to figure out what the hell's wrong with my eyeball. So don't know yet.
You got a fly in it. You got a fly in your ointment.
No, but the problem is that now it's still going. The fly situation has resolved itself already with the eye drops. So who knows what's going on now? Who knows?
Well, it sounds unpleasant, and I wish you a speedy recovery.
Well, thank you, sir. So there you go.
All right. But you're still taking care of business as Earl does.
Still plugging away here, my friend. So still making things work, still making things happen. So I'm doing a lot of phone work these days because I only got a good maybe 2 or 3 hours tops of eyeball work. So if I got to read stuff, it's not going to work so well. So there you go.
Well, good news. AI can probably read everything to you now, right? You just plug it into synesthesia or something, have a person tell it to you.
That'd be pretty interesting. Have AI read me stuff. Hey, AI, read me my email. That'd be great.
I'll bet you that's we're this close, getting back to Star Trek again so quickly. We're this close to computer. What are all the things that something, you know?
I do that right now with Google and I guess Siri and Alexa and everything. So actually I use I have a Google Home Mini in almost every room in the house. So I just randomly ask it stuff like, what's the weather? Hey, can we change the channel? Hey, can we turn this music on? Lily, so I have a bird named Lily. Lily has her own playlist.
Oh.
And I can tell Google, play Lily's playlist, and it will.
Oh my God.
So
that's outrageous. We had an Alexa for a while, and the only things I found it useful for were the grocery list. You know, you're cooking and realize you don't have enough butter, and you just yell out to add it to the grocery list, or setting an alarm, and then I guess checking the weather would work. But better to do that on the app, I think, or an app.
Switched cameras there.
What's going on?
I
They're
switched
all over the
cameras.
place.
This one's
Yeah.
clearer.
Okay. Fine. As you like. But we did, yeah. So
I use it consistently
we
for checking exchange rates. So figuring out how much this is in the US or switching it to
Oh, yeah.
Canadian, whatever else. So that I use on a daily basis. And then what else do I use it for? You can play games with the Google one, hey?
Oh yeah, yeah. There was we did play the there's like a 20 questions game.
There's
Where you
20
think of a-
questions. There's Name That Tune, which is actually kind of awesome.
Oh yeah.
With multiple players too. So, and then there's Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. So it'll actually give you the, A, B, C, D.
Oh really?
Yeah, tons of fun
I love
off
that.
just one-off weird games. So you just ask, hey, let's what are the games we can play, and then it just goes. And like I think there's one for kids, like guess the animal sound. I'm like, all right, well, whatever. So
All right, fair
I
enough.
just leave my kids with this thing, and they just have a blast for an hour or so.
Oh man, scary places we're going. But this is not an AI episode. We did get you out of the house despite your troubles. We got you to the boat, which was wonderful. So
Yeah,
some
absolutely.
boat-based
So-
networking, which ties into our
The boat
ties
was
into our topic today. But yeah, it was a good time.
Yeah,
What were you
absolutely.
gonna
They were the funny thing is it was like last minute, last second, everything. Like they had literally just finished getting the boat out of dry dock. Literally, they were putting the floor in. I don't know if you saw, but they were putting the main floor in while people were just barely getting onto the boat. So it was just like, okay, it's kind of cutting a little close.
It's like in the cartoons where the guy starts laying the track while he's on the train,
Yeah, it was pretty much that. So they were literally assembling some of the floor while while we were getting set up. So
Hilarious.
there you go.
But did you make some good connections? I guess you already know everybody who's on the boat, don't you? You don't need to connect with anybody. You already
No,
know
not
them all.
necessarily, because people bring invites and bring friends. I end up knowing about 2/3 of the boat, and then the other third is a nice surprise, whoever showed up.
Cool. Yeah, I was there to make some connections for business. But myself and this other guy got into talking about AI, as I think basically everybody does there now. That's the only thing we do at all network events is talk about AI. And then people kept
Robots are
joining
coming.
in, and next thing I knew, there was like 6-7 people, and we were just talking about, oh yeah, but did you know AI can do this? And oh, AI will never replace that. And I was like, I gotta keep moving here because this is not bringing me any closer to my goal.
Yeah,
Fun as
yeah.
it
No,
is.
I made some really good connections, and I got a client out of the boat. So there you go.
Nice. I may have made a couple of good connections right at the end, right when I was like, I'm not getting anything out of this. I got the the $550 and the $500 question.
Yeah.
I got a couple of 500 ones of people who work with the people who would be my clients.
Nice. Very cool. There you go.
So yeah. But this ties in great with our topic for today.
Yeah.
Because when you're at a networking event, it's like we're at a networking event, we're here to meet each other and find out if we have anything in common. And so we're gonna just ask, so what do you do? I like to ask the question, what's your deal? It's a little more confrontational and interesting. But you always ask the question, what do you do? And you gotta have a pitch ready. You gotta have what they call an elevator pitch.
Right.
And so in keeping with that, I'm gonna put up my background here.
The creepiest elevator in the universe.
Creepiest elevator, the elevator from The Shining. And you see gushing forth from this elevator are opportunities.
And or blood. Anyway.
And or blood. Well, you got to be out for blood. You got to be serious. So tell us, Earl, precisely before we get into concisely, before we get into what AI has told us about elevator pitches, what is an elevator pitch?
So they
What
call
does
it
that
an
mean?
elevator pitch because you should be able to explain who you are, what you do, what your business is about, and who you want to meet in the time it takes for you to get into an elevator, get to your floor, and then get off. Right?
Yeah.
So you want to make it quick, to the point, and memorable. And those are the things that kind of make a good elevator pitch, right? So so yeah, that's why they call it an elevator pitch. And at a networking event, you're going to be repeating this multiple times. So it's good to get this thing kind of just rolling off the tongue to the point where it's really easy for you to say this, and you don't have to think about it every single time, right? So because when when newbies start networking, they're like, "What do I even say?" I'm like, "Well, what's your elevator pitch, right?" And what the hell? What the hell is an elevator pitch? Okay, well, we got some work to do here, right?
Exactly. So I think that this is an area where I'm probably less of an idiot than some other areas because I do have more of a background in sales, and I've pitched a lot of things. Probably the most intense pitching I've done is I used to work for those jerks that work for the charities, stand on the street corner.
Oh no,
You know those guys with the clipboards and the vests.
the clipboard and the vest. Oh yeah, yeah.
I was the guy, and it's hey, I didn't love the work, but it is really good proving ground for your abilities as a salesperson. And I worked for the maybe I shouldn't say the name of the organization, but it was an animal charity.
Okay, gotcha.
Right. And we finally figured it out. Me and this girl that I was working with at the time, we finally got it dialed in. We would say, "Do you love animals?" It's not so much an elevator pitch, but it's hard to say no to.
Right.
And that's one thing I find is like, you want something that people can't. I mean, so if they do, like, no, hate animals, great. I don't want anything to do with you anyway. Not for this charity anyway. So
right,
it separates
the evil marketing genius answer would be yes, they're delicious.
Yeah, there you go. Great. Well, if we don't preserve them, there won't be enough to eat.
So because somebody actually did open me up once with that, "Hey, do you love animals?" Because I knew they had the vest, they had the clipboard. I'm like, I know where this is going. So they asked me,
I wonder if it was me.
Like
when was
animals?
this?
I don't know now, but I did answer yes, they're delicious, and they were taken aback. It was pretty funny. They weren't expecting that. I'm like,
you
know.
Yeah, you got to be ready to roll with whatever answer you get.
Oh, absolutely.
But,
plus, I was holding a hot dog, so I told them that was my emotional support animal. So.
Hey, you know how Costco hot dogs are $1.50 and they're never going to change that?
Yeah.
I was at IKEA the other day. Their hot dogs are $1.
Yeah, the hot dogs have always been $1.
Really?
Same
I
premise.
was not aware of this.
Same premise. They have hot dogs and ice cream for ridiculous prices. Oh God, this is embarrassing. My friends and I actually have hot dog eating contests at IKEA. So, and they're smaller than the Costco ones, so you can
just slap a 20 down and be like, hot dogs.
Pretty much. Except we can all eat, so we slap down to 50.
Yeah, not each.
Each.
Oh my Lord.
And then the first one that falls down loses. So yeah, it was just not probably not the best, from a health perspective to do that, because not the healthiest.
But also call me up next time you're doing that. So
all right.
I always see these you ever see these not eating contests, but where they're like if you can finish this hamburger and a milkshake, the giant burger or whatever.
Yeah,
I was looking at it go, yeah, obviously I could do that. Like, what are you talking about?
There's a place called, I don't know if I can do that now. I'm 43 now. I don't know if I can pull this off. There's a place called Cannibal Cafe that has 8 patty burger. And if you nail this thing and don't die, they stick your name on the wall.
I'm going to get my name on the wall. That's it. I don't think I'd have a problem. Just don't eat that day.
Back in the day, no problem. Now, I don't know. As I get older, I can't eat as much. I don't know.
I think we just digressed twice off our main point, and now I'm kind of lost.
That. So back to the bloody elevator.
Yeah, back to the bloody elevator. We were talking about animals. Yeah, so we would say, "Do you love animals?" And people would, if they said no, they would just kept walking. But we literally have people like just sort of walk by and be like, "All right, oh yeah, I love animals." You stop them in their tracks, and it's hard to get a no to, and then you go into your pitch from there. I probably could have brushed it up from there, but that was what we figured out would stop people in their tracks on the street. And it's kind of an idea what you got to do with an elevator pitch. An elevator pitch has got to attract attention. But all right, let's see what AI says about it.
Fair enough.
Like it knows better than we do.
Well, I gave it quite the prompt today. So
yeah, so you told you're really liking this acting as a consultant and devil's advocate.
Yeah.
Do you start everything like that with AI?
No, the last one was acting as an expert.
Oh, okay.
So this one was a consultant and devil's advocate because I actually asked it for 3 good things and 3 bad things.
Yeah. All right. So acting as a consultant and devil's advocate, what are 3 good things and 3 bad things that constitute a strong elevator pitch? It'd be funny if it misunderstood that and be like, the devil's not so bad. Like, haven't you ever considered the benefits of following Satan? I was like, no, AI, that's not what I mean.
Exactly. You want
All
to
right,
make the
so
devil
three
cry?
good.
What
What's that?
was it? Just you want to make the devil cry? You tell him that he's just living in his parents' basement. So
Harsh. That's you get sent to extra hell for that.
extra hell. Excellent.
Double hell.
After motion.
Yeah, exactly. They're making a new circle just for you, Earl. All right. 3 good things about a strong elevator pitch, according to our good friend AI. Concise and clear. Yeah. A strong elevator pitch is concise and to the point. It conveys your message in a clear and easily understandable manner, capturing the listener's attention within a short time frame. It avoids unnecessary jargon, yes, and focuses on the most important aspects of your proposition. Earl, your thoughts.
Concise and clear, absolutely. So many, many moons ago, I used to be in the financial services field. And I look like this now, and I'm 43. So when I was in my 20s, I looked like I was 12, right? So just does not help, right? I can't grow the mustache, the beard that all you have, that my mentors have. Everyone has this lush mustache and beard. I can't pull that stuff. I haven't shaved in like 3 days. So this does not bode well for my mustache ability. But all these guys had the mustache, the beard, the gray hair. They all looked elegant and could kick the crap out of me from that standpoint. But the neat part was this: because my elevator pitch back when I was in my early 20s, this is like 22, 23, was concise and clear, right? So, and we were in the financial services field. So I know you and I were just talking about you helping out somebody else with their pitch and everything else, and you had to have like 2 meetings to figure out what the hell they actually did. So the same thing goes with financial planners. So financial planners, they'll hold you for 45 minutes and you'll still have no idea what the hell they do, right? And so my old elevator pitch when I was in this arena was, give me 15 minutes, I'll save you $2,000 in tax. That was it.
Yeah.
And that got everyone's attention. So clear, concise, repeatable. I tripled my business every year because everybody who I helped could repeat the mantra. Give Earl 15 minutes and they'll save you $2,000 in tax. Yep, go. And then I got cocky. It ended up being, give me 15 minutes and I'll save you $2,000 in tax, or I'll give you $100 for wasting your damn time.
Oh, geez.
I've not had to give away $100, so it's great.
No, really.
So kind of cool.
Well done. Did anyone ever suggest that they might be in for it, or they're always happy with you at the end?
Every single person who eventually came, like if they were serious about it and they weren't just, kicking the tires for no reason, came on board. Like this is how I made my first $1 million selling financial service products. So, and that was my, the positioning was one of my secret sauces to beating the gray-haired, mustachio bearded, competition. So,
yeah. And I'll just say, I did help a fellow. I did work with a guy on his pitch. I guess it was just yesterday, and kind of made me think of this idea for a show. And a great guy, really nice guy. I'm not going to say his name. Really good guy, and I hope we're going to be working together in the future. But one trap he felt like it did to get a sense of, or to get a clear understanding of what he did, took me 2 meetings.
Yeah,
and because I like the guy and he's part of our kind of group, I wanted to find out. I wanted to understand.
But you're a friendly ear, though, right? You're a friendly ear. You're a friendly. Like, this is a safe space for this guy.
Yeah.
And had I been at a networking event and someone blabbers at me for 45 minutes and I still don't know what the hell they do and I can't repeat it and I can't refer them to any clients because I have no idea who they are, what they do, still, they got to work on their pitch, right? You got to work on your pitch.
And one aspect of that was jargon. And it wasn't again, like the guy, very nice guy, great guy, and he took to what I was saying very well. So I'm definitely not throwing him under the bus here, but I think he'd admit that he could use some work on this aspect of it. I'm more laughing at the other financial planners. The other guys you worked with.
Every other word was jargon. Every other word was jargon. So,
and in this case, it wasn't even jargon so much as like, sometimes like it's a really industry specific jargon. Like if you ran into some kind of car mechanic and he was like, oh yeah, I fine tune overhead cam carb dilators or something, and you're like, I have no idea what those are.
Right.
But it was just not speaking plainly.
Yeah.
You know?
There's two major newspapers in our town. One is the
Mhm.
Vancouver Sun, the other one's the Province.
Yeah.
And the Province outsells the Vancouver Sun by a lot. And the difference in between the two is, I believe the Province is written at a grade 6, grade 7 level of rating.
Yeah.
Or sorry, the Vancouver Sun is at a grade 6 and grade 7, and the Province is a grade 4.
Yeah.
So speaking simpler, it doesn't demean your client, right? It shows that it actually makes your intellect shine harder when you speak plainly.
Yeah. Kurt Vonnegut, one of my favorite writers, he said, a scientist who can't explain what he's doing to a 5-year-old is a fraud.
Yes, absolutely. That's one of my favorite quotes too.
Yeah. And it's like that. It's like, just say it plainly, just say it in plain language, make it easy for the guy to understand. Did you know that Shakespeare, these are just 3 examples. I think there's more examples. There's the 3 that I know. Shakespeare, Charles Dickens, and Hemingway, all 3 of them in their time when their work came out, it was considered crass, lowbrow, easily digested, unintelligent nonsense for the masses. You know what I'm saying?
And now you read Shakespeare stuff and it's wordy as shit.
So yeah, exactly. So there may be a downward trend in society, but the point I'm making was each one of those guys was a total genius. Right. But they wrote in the common language of their time. Shakespeare said, Hemingway, I think it said something along the lines of, why am I going to use more words than I need to?
Yeah.
Right. And there's an intelligence to cutting it down.
Well, here's the trend and the problem, right? 20 years ago, the average adult had a 20-minute attention span. 20 minutes, a long ass time, right? And today, the average adult has a 20-second attention span. Now, we bug kids because they're supposed to have a short attention span. These days, unless they're on the device already, these days, children who aren't so this is pre-device kids have a longer attention span than adults. And what was it? The goldfish having so much of a memory life. The average adult actually has less attention span than the average goldfish now. So it's pretty rough. So downward trend, absolutely. So does it make things need to be more concise? Absolutely. I mean, there's on Reddit, right? There's a shortcut that's just literally says TLDR, which stands for too long didn't read, right?
Yeah, exactly. Here's the TLDR version.
So here's the TLDR version, concise and clear.
I guess the point of it is that you don't sound more impressive when you dress up what you do with fancy language.
No, absolutely not. You just
it sounds like you're talking around an inadequacy when you try to dress it up.
Yeah, the kids just call it try hard now, right?
Try hard, yeah. It sounds like you didn't read the book report. And you're like, this Hemingway novel is an exemplary conflagration of interpretive memes related to the normative behavior of everyday individuals. And it's like, you didn't read the book, did you? No, I didn't.
No.
Or before we move on to the next point, we've spent a long time on this one already, but it's important to quote the great philosopher Kevin from The Office. Why use lot word when few word do trick?
Right. Always a man of culture. Always a man of culture.
Absolutely. I mean, who else would use the Shining elevator?
There you go.
All right. So number 2, unique value proposition. This is obviously a whole show in itself. But a strong elevator pitch highlights the unique value that your product, service, or idea brings to the table. It clearly articulates, speaking of clearly articulating, how your offering solves a problem, meets a need, or provides a significant benefit that sets it apart from competitors. It emphasizes the compelling reason why someone should be interested in what you have to offer.
So
Yes.
going back to the elevator pitch I gave at the very beginning, what I end up adding to it is pretty hilarious because it actually literally offends every other financial planner in the room, which is great.
Yeah.
So I actually asked the question, how do most financial planners work? They hold a gun to your head and say, give us all your money. It's like a robbery, right? Give us all your money, we'll invest better than the other guy, right? And then the people have a chuckle and they laugh. And usually when you see a financial planner, you go like this and say, run away, right? And so back to the original pitch where give me 50 minutes, I'll save you $2,000. And then here's the plug, right? Where I just jab him a little bit with a knife and I go, when was the last time your financial planner put money in your pocket instead of taking some? And they're like, ooh, and then that was it. Like after that, they're like, oh, I don't want, nobody wants to talk to any other financial planner in the room, and they all come beelining for me. They're like, hey, I want to listen to this guy. And so
all the other financial planners are like,
well, yeah, exactly. It pissed off every other financial planner, and we're like, oh crap. So I just ruined the room for them all and just stole all the business, right? So it worked.
That sounds like Earl. That sounds like Earl.
There you go. That's the evil marketing genius at work. So that was it. There's your unique value prop. If you can't explain the unique value prop quickly and concisely without using jargon, then there you go.
I think that it's called a unique value proposition, but it's in here. It says, I think it uses the word compelling, emphasizes the compelling reasons why someone should be interested in what you have to offer. Aside from just being unique, I think a really good pitch makes the guy want to talk to you.
There's a two-parter to this too, though. Like good marketing attracts the right people and repels the wrong people.
Sure.
Right.
Yeah.
So if you add that part to the unique value prop, right, you actually save yourself time, effort, and energy because you're actually pissing off the people who aren't the right fit for you. Right. And if you don't have that strong of a response from the other side, it's too vanilla.
Yeah.
Right. So if your approach is so vanilla, you're trying to please everybody and walk on water and kiss every baby, and it's just too much. You can't make everybody happy. So I'd rather have people detract from me going, nope, that's not a right fit, and just get to the no faster, right? Than beating around the bush and not reading the book report and taking 17 words where 3 would do, right? There you go.
But as far as that goes, but like, don't you agree that if you gave a good elevator pitch to a guy, assuming the guy was your right type of client, if you gave the good elevator pitch and then walked away, he'd be inclined to follow you and go, hey, hang on a second, I want to know more about this.
Absolutely. And that's how it works, right? Unique value prop. I know people talk about unique value prop all the time, but sometimes the unique value prop is absolutely wrong, right? I know we discussed this on a previous show, but there was this guy that sold windows and doors, and he thought his unique value prop and his market dominating position was the fact that his windows and doors were of the utmost quality. Turns out people didn't give two craps about it. They just liked the fact that this is the only bugger who showed up on time, right?
Yeah. A guy selling bad windows is not going to stay in business very long. So everyone, as we assume, has a decent window.
Yeah. But he was thinking that it was we use triple pay in this and the gas infused that and that. No one gave two craps. Like windows are good enough, right? There's I can't remember if we had this in the show, but we talk about product, service, and relationship, right? And the product is actually the least amount of power is required on the product. Like on a good, better, best level, the product just has to be good enough, right? So because if the product is too good, most people don't use like all the bells and whistles of everything. Like log on to Facebook today. Do you use every button on Facebook? I don't know what half this crap does. Right? I'm like, what the hell is this? I don't know. Cool. Right?
Don't get me started on Facebook's user interface.
Oh, yeah, and they change it every couple of weeks. So when I go back into the ad platform, I have no idea where the hell the button is now. I'm like, hey, how do you? I swear to God, I did this 3 weeks ago. Now I don't know what I'm doing anymore. So yeah, it changes all the time. So there you go.
Any other good compelling pitches you can think of that really Like, a good pitch should have the guy trying to do business or trying to learn more, like
Well, try
entice him
going
in,
more, or it's a direct response approach where they're just like, "Holy shit, give me, let's shut up and take my money." Right?
Yeah.
If you look at the old Domino's pizza elevator pitch, what was the old Domino's one? Fast, hot pizza in under 30 minutes.
Yeah. Not good pizza.
No, fast, hot pizza in under 30 minutes. No, nowhere in that does it say it tastes good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I'm not a fan of Domino's. It tastes like someone splattered ketchup on cardboard, and it's just not good. And I'd say no offense, but I mean every offense in the world, because no, like Domino's is bad. And here's the hilarious thing: I keep falling for their marketing. So they have this awesome new thing, and they're like, "Oh, new flavor, no, under 30 minutes." I'm an idiot, so I buy them. And then I taste them and go, "Oh, right, cardboard with ketchup on it." Right. Why do I keep falling for this? And so their marketing hits me every single time. But I mean, again, fast, hot pizza in under 30 minutes. That's their promise. That's their elevator pitch, right? Do they deliver that? Absolutely. Does it taste good? Still no. But they deliver. They delivered on their promise. Was it fast? Yep. Was it hot? Yep. Is it pizza?
Yep.
By definition.
Yeah.
But I'm a bit of a pizza snob, so
okay, but getting back to hot dogs, is a hot dog a sandwich?
Technically it's a taco, but anyway,
it's a taco. Yeah, exactly.
Nice.
All right, that's all. We just
nice.
In the comments below, tell us if you think a hot dog is a taco.
Oh god, taco versus sandwich. There you go, debate.
Yeah. All right, so let's carry on here. We're chewing up our time already. Memorable and engaging. A strong elevator pitch is memorable and leaves a lasting impression on the listener and engages their interest and curiosity, making them want to know more, which I was just saying. I'm as smart as AI. It can incorporate storytelling elements or use vivid language to create an emotional connection and make your pitch stand out from others.
Absolutely. So memorable and engaging. I know I've brought this one up again multiple times, but it's so memorable and so engaging that I have to use this headline again, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the headline was for a weight loss product, and it was "Don't lose your man to the skinny bitch from the office." And oh my god, like every time someone asks me, "Hey, what's a good example of a headline?" That's the first one that comes to mind. We sold so much. I think it was like oh man, it was such a long time ago. I think it was like a green tea extract or something like that. That it just upped your metabolism. And like we sold it with that headline, and we sold so much of this crap with a stupid headline, right? And so memorable and engaging. I mean, that's a head turner, right? That was another one of my old mentors said, like one of the sub headlines, I think in one of his copy pieces was, "So good you drag yourself naked across broken glass to come get this thing." And everyone was like, "What the hell is so good I dragged myself?" So obviously I'm like, well shit, I gotta read the next damn line. So it's like, what is this, right? So people are interested in figuring out what is that.
Yeah, they talk about vivid language in that headline. But I'm just thinking about that, don't lose your man to the skinny bitch in the office. That is not selling any specific product, right? There's a million different ways there's a million different things you could sell after you say that to someone.
Absolutely.
In your case, a green tea, but it's like, it could be a gym membership, it could be a diet book, it could be a personal trainer
thing, it could be one of those weird drink things, it could be a million different things.
Yeah, but you've engaged them with that, and you've connected to that animal instinct of you get that, you listen to that response.
Ticks all the boxes that we just did. We talked about concise and clear. We talked about a unique value prop. We talked about memorable and engaging. It ticks all the boxes, yet it's generic enough that I can sell fat-free ice cream after that damn right?
Yeah. Sorry. Good. Okay. Well, let's move on in the 20 minutes we have left here.
The dark side.
The dark side. What are bad things about it? See, I think you didn't phrase this totally right for the ad, because it's saying 3 bad things about a strong elevator pitch.
I think that's just the AI writing that.
Yeah. So there you go. I feel like that's the first real error we've come across with the AI.
Oh, it's just parroting back what the prompt was. So
right.
Technically, if it's got three bad things, it should have juxtaposed the word strong with weak. So, here are three bad things that happen within a weak elevator pitch if you're going to flip the strong over.
So I was kind of because you put the three good things and three bad things that constitute a strong elevator pitch.
Oh, there you go.
So it was actually not an AI error. It was just an I error.
To be fair, we did come up with this whilst walking towards the it's like,
yeah, exactly. We were
texting you going, hey, what are we talking about the show today?
Like, we were laying on the railroad track. We were laying on the track while the train was coming down the line.
Yeah.
You remember that? You seen Wallace and Gromit?
Yep.
You know that cracked me up as a kid and as an adult. And Gromit's like laying the track down so fast.
There's a really good commercial while they're building a plane in the sky. I don't know if you've seen that one, but they're literally building a plane in the sky while it's flying.
So, I'm not seeing that.
It's a pretty good one.
My favorite thing in Wallace and Gromit was when that penguin put the rubber thing on its head and everyone thought it was a chicken.
Yeah.
And Gromit's looking at the wanted poster, and the wanted poster is him with the rubber thing on his head and says, "Have you seen this chicken?" And Gromit's looking at it like, something familiar about that picture.
Yeah, exactly.
I can't figure it. And then later on, he pulls the rubber thing off his head and they go, "It's you." Anyway, I do digress easily. So what are the bad things about a strong elevator pitch? We'll see how it dealt with this prompt. Overwhelming amount of information. Yeah. A strong elevator pitch should be concise, but it can be a challenge to strike the right balance. If you try to cram too much information into a short pitch, it can overwhelm the listener and dilute the impact of your key message. It is important to focus on the most essential points and avoid overwhelming the listener with unnecessary details.
Oh my gosh, yeah. So, before we get into this, I want to digress just slightly. It's hilarious because I come up with this prompt, I throw it into the AI, comes up with all these answers, but because I can't actually read right now, I have no idea what's coming. So this is just FYI. I know I copy pasted it because I just went copy paste, but I can't actually read this right now, so I have no idea what's coming. So it's like, oh, cool. But
that's what's coming.
Overwhelming amount of information is exactly what you had to face, right? You had 2 meetings with this guy and still didn't know what he did. And 2.5 meetings later, I got it. I understand now, right? Same thing with so I had this one dentist, right? And this was in one of those like local networking event meetings. And all he did was just list the stuff that he did. And it was the worst presentation I've ever seen in my life. I'm not going to name names. I don't want to name and shame the guy, but he literally had a list of stuff he did on the projector and just popped up on screen. He turned his back to the audience and then read it. It's just like everything that you can possibly do wrong. And this was an overwhelming amount of information, right? It's like, oh yeah, and I do this, and I do this, and I do this. And he thought it was the greatest presentation since sliced bread. And I'm like, no, bro.
He actually was proud of himself.
It was death by PowerPoint, my friend. It was death by PowerPoint. I'm like, this is exactly what they tell you not to do, right? Like, don't use small ass font. Don't turn your back on the audience. Turns the back on the audience. It was like the worst thing. And then don't give them an overwhelming amount of information on a single slide. No one's going to remember this. So the most horrible thing is I don't remember a single thing that guy said. It was just so much, right? So too much information is the worst. It's not for lack of info that we're not buying stuff from people, right? It's you've lost my interest, on the list item number 17, right?
Yeah. Or try 3.
Right. So
what do you think about this aspect of it, particularly if it's like literally an elevator pitch? You find yourself in the elevator with a high-powered CEO. Yeah, and it's what does it say there? Try to cram too much information into a short pitch. You don't need to say everything. You just need to say enough to get the attention.
It's actually been tested. So CEOs, C-levels, and all those folks are actually so, I guess, drained from being pitched all day long. So old school methodology for sales was ask questions, direct a convo, ask questions, ask more questions. And so what happens though is at the C level, because they've been bombarded their entire, corporate lives with sales call after sales call after sales call, and everyone's singing from the same choir book. It's noted that after 3 questions, you've lost their interest, and it just dive bombs from there. So if you cannot show what your value is within 3 questions and solve a problem for them and make their
Solve a
life a
problem,
better
yeah.
place without, taking more than 3 questions, you've already lost them for the vast majority of them. And
Yeah.
as a C level for multiple different companies, so because I'm a fractional CMO sometimes, it's just, when people pitch and it's question, 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 I actually say, hold up, what is your function? What do you do? What
Yeah.
problem does it solve? If it's not on my list of problems, I go, let's end the meeting now. I'm good. This is not going to help you. We're not going to make a sale here. Does it solve this? Yes. Explain quickly. Right?
Yeah.
I don't need 17 slides. Boil it down to 3 bullet points. Hit me with the 3 best things you got. Go. Hey, I like that. Let's buy it. Right?
Yeah. And I think that, the elevator pitch done properly, grants it opens the door to the attention from the person where you can then start to say more stuff if you got
But
their
you
attention.
have to earn that right. You have
Exactly.
to earn that right. If
So
you don't earn that right, you've already lost. You can keep talking, but I've checked out already, right?
Yeah. If you got yourself on there with a CEO and you say, hey, you know what I do? I make it so CEOs can always take a vacation every year and never have to miss it, or something like that.
Right.
I help CEOs organize so they can always take a vacation every year. I don't know if that's a good button or not, but the guy might go, really? I haven't had a vacation in 3 years. How do you do that? Be like, come talk to me. Here's my card. I'll tell you how I do it. And you've earned the right to give more information, but don't give that more information till you've earned the right.
Correct. There you go.
This guy I knew who was I'm actually not totally sure what he does. I know him through friends, but I know he's like a pretty high powered guy and wears a very nice suit all the time. He told the story of how he got his new assistant, and he went into Starbucks, and the chipper young lady behind the counter said, "You want to know what my dream is?" So right there, he's like, "Oh, sure, tell me your dream." She said something engaging and interesting enough to earn the right to talk to him more. He said, "Sure, tell me your dream." She said, "I've always wanted to be an executive assistant to an important businessman."
Nice.
Right? Because she could tell just looking at him, he's an important businessman. And he turned to, I don't know if it was his assistant at the time or a partner or whatever. He said, "Get her phone number."
Nice.
And now she's his assistant.
That's a good elevator pitch.
Yeah, because he was like, not only is she outgoing and knows what she wants, she thinks I'm important. So that's
so right away, hired.
Yeah. So yeah, the good elevator pitch, like you said, solves a problem. I think that's really important.
Well, a lot of the things that work on a quicker basis is direct response marketing, right? Where you've got problem, solution, call to action. It's right there in front of your face. Like, you want this solution to your problem? Yep, absolutely. So call us here, right? And then so that's where that overwhelming amount of information isn't being actually useful to you at all, right? So it's just if you give them a mountain of data. Someone was once like, here's a giant 47-minute video. Watch this video, then give me a call. Well, guess what? I've never given him a call. Why? I haven't watched this stupid video yet. Who's got 47 friggin' minutes for some stranger I've never met before, right? Yeah. Overwhelming amount of information could also be video, could also be listen to this 37-minute audio. No, thank you.
I only have a 20-second attention span, as we discussed earlier, if even that. All right, so on to the final one here, and I like this one: failure to address objections. And you might immediately, my immediate response to that is, how many objections are you going to get in an elevator pitch? Not too many, but it says here, a strong elevator pitch should anticipate and address potential objections or concerns that the listener may have. If your pitch fails to acknowledge or respond to these objections, it may leave the listener with doubts or unanswered questions. It's crucial to demonstrate that you have considered potential challenges and have viable solutions or explanations in place.
In the first presentation that we run for business engine optimization, we talk about the future buyers, right? We talk about the soon-to-be buyers, and we talk about the now buyers.
Mhm.
And when we talk about this framework, right, the now buyers need to make a decision based off of, vendor selection criteria, right? Because they're ready to buy
Based off of
now.
what? I missed what you said. Based off of what?
Vendor selection criteria.
Okay.
I'm going to buy this. Don't care who I buy it from, right? But I need to make a good decision of whom I'm going to buy it from at this point,
Mhm.
right? And so failure to address objections, failure to address objections is a thing that happens in like the second or third, or the second or first tranche of this, right? So a future buyer, you're talking about, here's the reasons why you should buy. A soon to be buyer is, here's the reasons why you shouldn't buy. And if you put the reasons to buy, why not to buy, and who you should be buying from in that, sequence, what ends up happening is that you end up helping them facilitate what's called the buying process, as opposed to selling them something, right?
Hmm.
And so failure to address objections, I wish I read this before I pasted it, because my hack of the week includes this chunk. But
Oh no.
like, damn it. But I get really specific though in the hack of the week. But the failure to address objections, if you're not getting into the customer's space and understanding what their actual problems are and why they shouldn't buy something, right? So
Mhm.
when I used to sell insurance, one of the things I said is, you don't need to buy volcano insurance in Vancouver. Why? Do you see a volcano? I don't either. Why would you buy volcano insurance? Right?
Yeah.
So they're like, oh, that makes sense. And so, I had this little bit of a spiel that was pretty funny. Like, if you have a car, buy car insurance. If you have a house, buy house insurance. If you have a life, and then they would finish the word for me, and then I would say, thank you, let me help you with that.
Yeah.
Right. And so there you go. So failure to address objections, you have to show them what the purpose of it is. And then I would just ask really basic questions, right? Like, do you have any dependents? Yes or no? If the answer is no, the only life insurance you need is enough to put you in the ground. That's it.
Yes,
they're
you
like,
don't
"Oh,
care what
never-
happens after that.
Never thought about that. Like, that's it. If you care about your relatives and you don't want them paying to stick your ass in the ground, then have enough life insurance so it covers that part. Otherwise,
Mhm.
Maybe someone will feed your cat, right? We'll see. There you go.
But I like the fact that it says anticipate the objections, because in an elevator pitch, you're not really having time to get into objections. You got to bake them into your elevator pitch,
Absolutely.
right? One of the things with the guy I was working with the other day was that the way he framed what he did, it sounded like a bunch of work for the person you're selling to. It sounded like a homework assignment. So I was like, you need to emphasize in your pitch, I'm going to do this for you, or I'm going to take this job off your hands for you, and make it sound less like you're giving the guy something to do and more like you're going to take a task out of his hands. So you don't have time for him to object in an elevator pitch. You anticipate it in the pitch.
But going back to your coffee gal who became the executive assistant, because she said the words important business person, right? That already addressed the objection in the guy's mind. Because most people are like, my boss is stupid, blah, blah, blah. Hey, you get a load of this one, right? When she said important business person, she removed the objection that, will she respect me?
Right.
Right. So that was a subject removal thing right off the bat. That's an objection removal thing right off the bat. Hey, wait, I'm important. Yay.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm trying to think. I know I've been pitched before, like in a real raw sales situation, like carnival barker kind of.
Nice.
And I can't think of the example right now, but like where the guy literally, like, I was like, but like my objection was like forming in my mouth, and he just handled it. He had the response coming out of his mouth.
I know what you're thinking.
Of mine.
Don't you hate it when this happens? Bah, 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 bah. Holy shit, how did you know? Because that's the first thing that people ask.
Yeah, exactly. I wish I could think of the example, because I remember being like, you sound like a mind reader. You know what I mean? You probably think this is too much money, but of course, if you don't spend this, you're gonna have dry rot or something. I mean, like, that's a cheesy
this much
pitch,
later.
but...
So either you pay this much now and deal with it now, or you pay this much later when everything's falling apart. Take your pick.
Yeah. So good. I think we've work this out. Hopefully,
Is it that
come into
time?
well, almost, but I just want to say, hopefully the good people come into the boat next month, watch this episode, and they'll come with finely tuned elevator pitches. It'll make life a lot more efficient and interesting.
Yeah, there you go. Absolutely.
All right, so now let's hit it.
Let's hit it. There's a button.
Hack of the week.
Hack of the week. So, sadly, I couldn't read the
Yeah, I'm
AI
just gonna wing it.
answers before pulling this together. And so the hack of the week is go to your competitors, right, and research the 1-star reviews and figure out what's the biggest complaints of that sector. Then address them in your pitch to make you really stand out.
Perfect.
So whatever you fix of your competitors, this is that failure to address objections was what we were talking about. So you go to your competitors, research what the major flaws are. You address whichever ones you fix in your normal piece, and then here's what you do: you repeat. And so any of your 5-star reviews on your own profile, right? Repeat those bits and pieces that are adjacent to whatever the problems are, and make the really good things really shine. And you got that 1-2 punch combo. You've got the addressing them of the mind reader trick where you're like, yeah, but, and then you solve it. And then you show how you solved it with like a testimonial, or someone said, one of our customers once said, bah, right? Like the door guy, our customers say we're always on time every time without fail. Like, oh my God, that is the bane of my existence. And then right away, you've nailed the objection, you've nailed the USP, right, or the MDP right away. So the unique sales proposal or the market dominating position right off the bat in like one fell swoop, right? And ta-da, it's all there in one go, right? Which brings me, let's go full circle back to the original pitch, which was give me 15 minutes and I'll save you $2,000 in taxes, or I'll give you $100 for wasting your damn time. When was the last time your financial planner put money in your pocket before you died? Right? And then because it's got that tongue-in-cheek piece, it's got that piss off every other financial planner in the space piece, it's got the immediate direct response piece, it hits all the failure. So the failure to address objections. What if I don't have money? Well, if I just found you the money, now you have money, right? So it nails all those little bits and pieces in one fell swoop. And that's why it was my favorite elevator pitch back in the day when I was in that space, right? So, the elevator pitch nowadays is give me 90 minutes, I'll find you $100,000 in any business, right? Same kind of thing, right? And so when you show the problem solution pair set in one go, it's got a weird, unique ring to it. It's got all these little bits and pieces to it. And, it's the objection handling is done beforehand, right? It's like, wait, and so you're not going to make me pay a bunch of money or do any of these things until you find all this money? Yeah, sure, right? We'll do a quick assessment. I'll find it all, and then if you want, we'll do a deep dive after you pay me. Oh my God, sounds great. Let's see what you got.
Yeah, again, you got that piece of that's like the next level down. You've done what you said you were going to do. Now you've earned the right to say, let's do the next level of work.
Yeah,
and start charging for it.
Pretty much. And that's how it works, which wraps us up here pretty nicely.
Yeah. I got nothing to add. Can't gild this lily. Let's hit the outro music.
Outro music it is. Here we go.
Thanks for listening to Earl and the Idiot. We hope you learned something you can take action on this week. For more information or to contact the show, visit earlandtheidiot.com. And until next time, remember what Shakespeare said. The fool doth think he is wise, but the wise man knows himself to be a fool.
We got to coordinate.
Crass and Shakespeare-esque, right? So
yeah, exactly. So lowbrow. Thanks everybody for joining us. Thank you, Earl. Thank you, AI.
Thanks everybody. Thanks.
We'll see
I like how you
next
thank
week.
the AI. So when the AI overlords take over, they'll eat us.
We'll eat us last. Exactly.